Hi everyone, today I want to record something about a topic which is particularly close to my heart because when executives talk to me, they will often bring something up which they are feeling quite uncomfortable or guilty about. Now, letting people go is one of those topics because it is enormously uncomfortable, and particularly if you are the person who either holds the responsibility for that decision or even has to do the actual exit process yourself. Now, it is never going to be easy to let somebody go, but there are a few tips for you. Number one, really, I think, is this situation will not have just been sudden. The chances are it's taken quite a while. So in that process, there's a lot of consultation, there's a lot of discussion. What do we do? How do we do it? What is the best way? And is this absolutely necessary? And I think because it's probably built up over time, it's actually taken a lot of thought, and therefore there is and has been a process behind it. So there isn't really any need to feel very burdened from the point of view that it's all about you and you are the one who's made this decision. I think there have been other people involved, more than likely, and especially if you're a large enough business to have an HR department. That means there has been a diligence or a due process that you've gone through. And, the second tip really is, depending on how well you know the person, inevitably this is where it's going to create the most discomfort. There are situations, for example, where an exec has spoken to me and there is an individual who's been in the business for years, and this person, for whatever reason, is ill. Perhaps they are about to retire and not by choice, and therefore to some degree there's pressure that's come to bear, and they've taken advantage of the situation and decided to exit. But perhaps they're feeling it, and therefore that kind of a conversation they may have had with you is hurting you. Now, I think depending on how well you know them in that circumstance, then making a gesture is the really best way to do this, because it's a very personal approach that way. And I think the kind of thing that you would do perhaps is, give a gift, or maybe a thank you in a very sort of big way, or maybe even a party. And I think, if it's appropriate, perhaps a bonus in their salary in order to be able to say goodbye, but leave a very good feeling. And also, to be fair, ask them really how they feel and how you can make it better for them. And I think the more personal the approach, the better. Now, the third tip I want to say is, obviously, if you don't know them quite so well, and this is a necessity because your business is going through some kind of downsizing, you are not using an operational area quite the same as you were, or maybe you're moving geographically, and so that unit or that department or even that whole office isn't necessary. And this is never going to be very easy. But again, using a third party, possibly a consultancy business, the type that is likely to be impartial through the selection process and the careful, sort of decision around who to choose and how to do this, that helps you not sort of ease your guilt. There's no need to feel unbelievably guilty as long as you feel that the process has been done well. I think the key is to try to get it to the point where you can really live with yourself and you can feel as if you've done the very best that's possible. And, that way really people remember you, and they remember the business, and they remember having been handled well. And some of those things are also, appropriate support. For example, if it's necessary, how can we help you with your CV, or how can we connect you with certain agencies that will help you? And I think this inevitably is a much better way to handle people. It reflects well on you and it helps them. And that, at the end of the day, is the key to the process. So I hope that helps. Take care.